turned to me and she said, "I don't want to talk about that." What are the dynamics of, if this is not happening, all she has to say is, "What are you talking about?" "No, absolutely not. Never happened." "Huh? What?" That's all she has to say. She doesn't have to say, "I don't want to talk about that." She's hiding something from me and she doesn't want to tell me. And if this is not happening, if this is just that she's making this up, what would be the point? Why would she even do that? Well, it doesn't make any sense for her to say that. It's just this thing. It was too embarrassing for her. But if this wasn't happening, there wouldn't be anything embarrassing to her. It just wasn't there. She didn't make that part up. Doing abduction research is always surprising in some way. So the point is that this aspect, the reproductive aspect and the creation of hybrid beings, is central to the abduction phenomenon. It is the centerpiece of it. That is why they are here. And it's disconcerting. When we first looked at this phenomenon, we realized that if beings from another planet are coming here, they have to be very advanced. They can't be not advanced. If they can get here from there, wherever there is, it does not matter. I don't care whether, it doesn't interest me from where they're from, to tell you the truth. For me, it's not important. But if they can get here from there, they are therefore extremely advanced. They're not just a little advanced, they are extremely advanced. And I can go through a logical argument to show how being a little advanced is a long shot, and being extremely advanced would be the norm. If you want to do that. But they are extremely advanced technologically. What we didn't expect, what came out of nowhere, just amazing to us, was how biotechnologically advanced they were. That is to say, they understood our biology and physiology and neurology far more than we did. And they could control us neurologically from a distance. How they do that, we do not know. But this is biological technology that is much more advanced than we could have ever imagined. That was not really something that even popular culture had in its arsenal of explanations. When you look at movies, there was one movie, Invaders from Mars, where they actually had to put something in the back of somebody's neck so they could control him as a robot. This does not have that. That threw us for a loop. That was like, we were just astonished. It was like, how did they do this? Technology, hardware, yes, that you expect. But biological stuff, that is something that we did not expect. But without it, there'd be no abduction phenomenon. The problem here is, if they could not control people from a distance, people, as soon as an abduction event started, would run. Here in America, everybody and his cat has a gun. Lots of people sleep with their guns under their pillows. It's a strange country. They would reach under the pillow, get out their Glock 9, as they say, and blow these little beings' heads off, and then put them on a pole and show them everybody what they look like. That's what would happen. Or they would simply call the police. Or they would do any number of things, kick and scream and carry on, and wake the neighbors and this and that, That can't happen, and it won't happen, and it doesn't happen. That has been taken into account. People are already in control by these beings before the event happens. For example, a person will tell me, I'll ask, have you ever seen a UFO? I personally have never seen a UFO that I can judge to be a UFO. That is to say, an alien spacecraft. I've never seen. I say, have you ever seen a UFO? Oh yeah. The missus and I were sitting, and we had the kids in the backyard, in the back of the car. We were driving down the highway. We saw one that was hovering over a field over there. It was just astonishing. It was amazing, and I pulled over to the side of the road to get a better look at that thing, and we all looked at it, and it was just, and then suddenly it just flew away at fantastic speed. It was absolutely amazing. And I heard lots and lots of these stories over and over again. And the key phrase that I always wondered about was, I pulled over to the side of the road to get a better look. And I'm thinking to myself, why do they always pull over to the side of the road to get a better look? Why don't they just keep driving at a slower rate or something like that, and you're all staring before this thing just takes off? So I began to do, abductees would tell me this too, so I began to do work about this sighting that an abductee had had. And what abductees say is, I was driving with the missus and the kids were in the back of the seat, and we saw this UFO was hovering over to the side of the road, and over a field there on the side of the road. And so I thought that I had better stop the car. And I pulled over to the side of the road, and I sat there and waited. And then these beings came up, and they opened the door, and I walked out alone, and I with them, and I went into the field and went into the UFO, and this happened, and that happened, and this happened, and that happened, and this happened, and I came back, and went back to the car, and I started up, and I started it, and the car was running, and I looked over there, and that thing just flew away at fantastic speed. It was amazing. And so what we see then in that regard is that, number one, people forget things that happen to them, of course, but they're already in control while they're driving, and they know they have to stop the car now. That also shows us that close-up UFO encounters, and I see a UFO that's, very close to them, that UFO is there for a reason, and so are they. And in other words, the UFO phenomenon and sightings, particularly close encounter sightings, are far, far less random than we ever imagined. And that this is a subject, and this is a phenomenon that has to be investigated on a different level other than just seeing a UFO. I'm rambling. Sorry about that.
That's fine. How do they know when to abduct the lady? Because the egg is only available, 3 or 4 days in a month, I'm told. Yet,
Correct.
Yet they abduct the lady at perfect timing. Is that right?
Yes. No. I once had women fill out charts with me about ovulation and abduction events. And there was a correlation, slightly, but in fact, they can cause an ova to be erupted, so to speak, can be what's the word I'm searching for?
Ovulate.
Released. They can cause an ova to be released through these staring procedures. Because that's the first thing we wondered about. Why isn't it just a certain time and then the other time there? But that's not. It is unfortunate that that's not the way it works. It's unfortunate because it increases the number of events that women have. It is also unfortunate that it didn't make any sense before we began to realize they are causing eggs to be released through these procedures that they do. Then it suddenly made sense. Now we get it. Now we understand. So it's there. One of the things we found about this phenomenon is that it is absolutely logical and absolutely rational. There is not everything that we thought was everything over the years. I would hear things people would tell me, and I think to myself, "My goodness, what could that possibly be?" This makes no sense at all. Why they're doing this is senseless. It's nonsensical. What that is an admission of ignorance on my part. This is something where I just don't know enough about it, because everything else that I've learned has become rational, and things that I used to think were just crazy, just impossible to understand, become very understandable when you have more information. And the abduction phenomenon, if you keep working at it, the more information comes about, and then you realize, oh, I understand now. Now I get it. Oh, I understand why they've been doing it this way. Now I understand why they don't do it the other way, etc., etc. That has to be 2 + 2 = 4, no matter where you are in the universe, I think. I guess. I am not a mathematician, and I struggle with arithmetic. But I guess that 2 + 2 = 4 everywhere. But there has to be certain logic and rationality if we're going to have technology. That has to work. And that is, of course, what we see. And we see this in all the procedures and everything that goes on in the abduction. And absolutely everything, from the little picture to the big picture, it is rigidly logical. Rigidly logical. There are no emotions involved in this phenomenon. There's no fooling around or anything like that. It is strictly logic.
And I understand after they've impregnated the lady, they come back, abduct the person again, and they take it out. Is that right? They take the
What happens is they take the egg out. They take somebody's sperm. They put them together in a petri dish or whatever it is they use, and they alter it in such a way, and then they take that ovum and they reimplant it in the woman, who then, for some reason or another, feels, after several weeks or a month, they feel like they're pregnant, which of course oftentimes is possible. They got a husband, they got a boyfriend, whatever it is, or not possible, because they're not married, they don't have a boyfriend, and therefore it is not. Therefore, they cannot be pregnant, but they feel pregnant. Their period stops. They have their breasts swell. They begin to retain water. What is going on here? So they'll go and they'll take an early pregnancy test. They'll go to a chemist or a drugstore, as we say here, and get an early pregnancy test, and it's positive. Now that's an extremely high rate of reliability, of positiveness. It's something like 99%, and there's a slightly less validity on the negative side, but it's not 100%. So they'll go to their physician and have a blood test, and that usually is 100%. And the doctor will come out and say, "Congratulations, you're pregnant." And it's inconceivable to them. How could this possibly happen? It's just. Then they go 8 or 10 weeks, 11 weeks or so, and then they go back for a checkup for the doctor, and they'll say,